No, we're not gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance and all that good stuff.
Oh. Well, she put it here, that's fine.
Yeah, we can still do it, Mr. Chair, if you want.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there, okay, we can do that with that, talk with that. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do with roll call, Raymond Camina, I believe he's excused.
Yes, you have to be excused.
Okay, Javier Castillo is here, to with the others. Federica Bandes,
She won't be here.
she won't be here, right? Okay, Latita Lopez, excused.
She has to be excused.
Jorge Luis Quijano, Margaret Rodriguez,
She's on her way.
Right.
Mr. Chair.
and Michelle Romani.
Present?
Okay. So, we don't have a quorum, but we'll just continue with the agenda and, since I'm gonna dispense with the minutes because those require approval, but,
That's right.
well, let's move on to, not the minutes, but the reports. So the first report is the financials.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the financial report is on page 4, 5, and 6. And so we are pretty much in the last phase of closing our budget. As you can see on page 5, it gives you a breakdown of our collections. And it gives you a breakdown, sorry, of everything that through the different expense items, marketing, advertising, and then on page number 6, that's where it gives you how we've been our collections for this fiscal year. So we're doing good. We actually are above 100%, so we're on par with what we had projected. I'm not sure if y'all have any other questions regarding the financial statements.
Is right?
Yeah, hold on, I have a question.
Yes.
Only because it's made the rounds on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And they even brought it up in council
Mhm.
regarding the Society for Martha Washington
Okay.
and the tourism impact.
Okay.
Because they were saying that, well, historically it used to bring in
Mm-hmm.
some serious revenue, hotel motel wise,
Mm-hmm.
that, and I tried to explain to them that this year it was probably weather related. That, with the excessive cold, that might have hurt us, but then they said, what about the other years? And I think that part of the reason it took a hit was because of the cancellation during the virus.
Oh, they're doing COVID.
Yeah, and,
So what data are they using for this information?
they're using hotel motel tax data.
So are they comparing,
Yeah.
another year with this year and it was lower this year? than it
Right,
was in
but
previous years?
I explained to somebody on social media that, now we have a form.
Oh my gosh.
So
sorry. Okay, how are you doing?
My question is, just in the event that there are folks, especially the social media folks.
Future Mr. Chair, I just want to say that now we have a quorum.
I already said that. So anyhow, given that there might be pundits watching and folks who may not quite understand how the hotel motel tax works and what our numbers were. And the other thing is, I'm not sure if we see, any of the Airbnb revenues in the hotel, or if they even contribute to the hotel motel tax.
As of right now, they don't. The
Okay,
Airbnb doesn't. We
Okay.
do see in our monthly reports, we do submit that information, so we know where they're staying, how long they're staying, the average.
but we don't see any of that money.
That is correct, we don't.
Probably has something to do with it too.
Yeah, because they were, there's a lot of misinformation
Right.
that, WDCA, in particular, the Society for Martha Washington, is funded by local taxpayers. And what I've always said is, unless you're booking a staycation at La Posada or at the Rialto, then you're not directly funding this. It's all hotel motel tax because it's tourism related. But that's the only thing that my question is.
So we'll take that into consideration, I guess, and move forward and see how we can explore that and what information we can get.
Right, and then also if we can go back to including the ADR.
Yeah, that's included, I'll show
Okay.
you, right now, so that is included, so we're doing
Okay.
that. ADR, Mr. Chair, can just show you, just,
Sorry about that.
page number 13.
Oh, okay.
It gives you, a breakdown on the ADR, and then where the page 13, 14 gives you, and 15 gives you, the occupancy, the ADR, especially page number 15 will tell you, the ADR
Okay.
occupancy for this month that we have February and March. In this case.
Right. And then the other thing too is maybe for next month,
Mhm.
or actually it'll probably be for August really,
Okay.
to see historically what impact has the Sister Cities Festival had on hotel motel revenue.
Okay. That probably would be until August, maybe even September, depending on the collections.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we'll make a note to put that.
Just so that way people can understand that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for that information. Okay, so now that we have four, I'm gonna go back to the minutes. And I'm gonna ask here if we could please review the minutes and bring a motion to approve or to make a.
I'd like to move that we approve the minutes as submitted, Chair. There are-
Second.
Okay, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, left it approved, so that will all be the number of treasurer's report. Thank you so much, and now we have the monthly report.
Yes, Mr. Chair, so the monthly report starts from page 7. We had several events, but one of the things that we wanted to highlight, we were celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week, so we had different events. We had a proclamation on Monday here at the office, and we had different events. We actually did our pop-up shop on wheels. We took them to City Hall and City Hall Annex, so it was actually turned out really good. We had a lot of people that weren't familiar or or they're making their they're not in this area, so it was good that they were paying their taxes or paying water bill or going for a meeting. They were able to purchase some of our promotional items. But that week was really well. We highlighted our Laredo Taco Trail. Was our venue there at the Border Heritage Museum, so it turned out really good. We had our marketing team did a wonderful job, and we had some of the restaurants that are participating. We have a total of 9 restaurants that are offering discounts or offering a stamp, and once you collect all, you go to all 9 restaurants, you get a special limited edition. The first because it's a limited edition that we have a limited quantity, so you'll be able to get a prize on that. Yes,
Two
Michelle?
questions.
Mhm.
I think one of them said like if you do 3 of them, you get something.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get a small little, it's a little squishy, a little taco
Right.
squishy. Yeah.
And then the second question is how were these chosen? Because some of these taco places I've never heard of. And
So-
maybe
Mhm.
the older tacos, if we were.
So the
doing
reason
this way-
how it was an idea that the committee brought in a couple of months ago, maybe even more than a couple of months, working on this. So our marketing team did a campaign on social media. So they reached out to basically anybody that has either Instagram, Facebook, and we did a survey. People submitted their responses, and see if they could testify a little bit and give a little bit more.
So we actually did a survey at the City of Laredo. We sent out a mass email to all employees, and we sent out a mass email to all our subscribers on the newsletter, and you can follow us on social media and on the website. And we got over, I think it was a good 300 responses, and then we gathered it and we put everything in Excel, and we counted out what restaurants won and what restaurants worked. We were really surprised because we hadn't heard of, so we had actually go out and test the product, which was such a torture. So then we just literally decided from the people in the audience, and they were the ones who chose, and those were the 9 ones who had the most votes.
And obviously the restaurant had to participate too.
Yes.
They have to sign, an agreement with us that we're
Right.
willing to work, because it is an investment from the city. they had to participate, make sure that they offered a discount, that they were gonna be able to be part of the stamping. So it was a whole commitment, so some restaurants were like, at this time, we don't, yes, so,
Yeah, I know in the case of SWAT, it's the one on McPherson.
yeah.
They didn't know how to operate the stamp. So they had to do like an X or something, and they said that they would call you guys. So
Yeah,
I think
they all received the stamp, so not as either they misplaced it, but we provided all the necessary things that they needed, because it's, you could do it digital in the app, or you can do it physically.
Right, and I know at Robbie's, they almost took apart the whole thing to figure out.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering if they weren't taught how to.
yeah, no, I know the staff met with each restaurant, the manager.
Yeah,
Well,
that sounds like, you know.
yeah, it happened in front of me, and
Mhm.
and I thought, okay, so then I wound up helping them because they almost.
So it wasn't a technology issue, it was that
No.
they didn't know how to scan.
No, they didn't know how to open it up to stamp it.
The passport?
No, they stamped it to,
Oh, the
Yeah.
stamp, like the physical stamp.
Oh, yeah, and they almost got the red ink on themselves, but.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But it is.
We'll take note of that, we'll.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll follow up with them.
On how to open a scan. That's
Yeah.
something we have to look
Yeah,
into.
because I think Swatters had the same problem, and so they just put a big old X. And
Yeah.
they said, but they would call you guys to let you know that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you received any, any restaurants complaining, oh, we're not suited or anything?
No,
That's
I mean,
great.
Some have asked, to see like how they can participate, which we've been, yeah, we can go ahead and review it, and, but there hasn't really been complaints, we've had some few winners who promoted on social media, so, it's been
Yeah.
nothing but.
You're doing a great job, like,
Yeah.
doing and getting that feedback, right, from others, because I know it's really hard to pick.
Yeah.
Laredo
Yeah.
are full of taco stands, right, so it's really hard to,
It's
yeah.
kind of an incentive for them, because they're like, what can you do to like, come on the list,
Yeah.
like, what
Yeah.
can you do to make
That's
this better?
good.
And so
That's
it can be like,
Hey, you know, Taco Bell, he was excited, and so I took a picture, and they texted me, but I don't think I ever made it on the official page,
on Instagram or on Facebook?
Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, usually we share more on Instagram if we get tagged, because it's much easier, like our stories and stuff. For Facebook, it's a little difficult because of the algorithm. We can only post at certain times just because of the feedback and the
Yeah.
speed.
As board members, we're not included, right, in the taco trail?
what do you mean?
Okay, so just like if we visit like 3 of them, because we're board members, we don't get anything, right? I mean.
No, yes, for everybody, yeah.
Okay,
If you do online, you get the event
Okay,
pass.
I thought that, you know, because.
No, we don't have, there's
It's
no restrictions, no. At least we hadn't put anything, so it's open to
Let's
anybody.
go ahead and move on, so we
Okay.
can try and get.
Yeah. And, Mr. Chair, the other event that I wanted to highlight, we celebrated our 270th anniversary, so that was a big event. We partnered with the Border Heritage, Webb County Heritage Foundation, with the Border Heritage, so we partnered with the outlets, there were so many, Parks and Leisure Department, there were so many events that happened, during that day. So we had our team did a wonderful job and pushing it in social media and promoting it, and then we did our pop-up shop too.
Yeah.
There we ended up moving it to the outlets just because we partnered with the farmers market and the pop-up shop over there, so it worked out really good. It was very hot and humid that day, but the event itself finished with a concert on the Tres Lados Park. So overall, it was a really good event. The Webb County Heritage Foundation, they had a lot of representatives for the actual celebration, cutting of the cake there at the plaza. So it was a great event there. We have other events, Mr. Chair, but I don't know if you all have any other questions in regards to our other events that we had.
Yeah, I was very proud to see you all at the 270th celebration. And I was also very happy to see you moving and out at the Caminata, and I hope to see you all tomorrow night. I do have a question.
Mhm.
Was the board not invited to the unveiling of the letters and stuff?
Oh, so, for this, we do apologize. We didn't send the invitation. It was an error on ourselves. We were, just to give you a background, what happened was that we were going back and forth with the school. Since they had graduations, we had initially had a date and we had to move the date. So we had to, be advising management council and mayor. So we were back and forth and it was just something that slipped on us and then, we didn't invite you, but we'll make a note, to make sure, because every other event that we've done, we've
Right.
extended the invitation. So our apologies for that, but, we will make sure to know that, next time you guys will be receiving those notifications.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But like I said, I'm very proud that y'all have been really coming out again, and especially this month is gonna be neat because it's gonna be the night of the museums.
Yeah.
Always promote that as much as we can on our own, so it's when we get out of the rain.
Yeah.
Online. Anything else there that you were covering next? Either we kind of went over this, but.
Yeah, so we had our budget. You'll see a little bit more detail in the graph, how we are standing page number 12. And some of the activities that we have going on for the month of June, July, and August, Mr. Chair, on page 12. And then what is page 13, 14, and 15 gives you a breakdown of our behavior on who's coming, where they're coming, what areas they're visiting, how much are they spending. And so it gives us on the US side, and we get some information as well on page number 14 on the Mexican side. It gives us from where they're coming, and we know that Monterrey area, the Nuevo Leon is our biggest clients or visitors that come in. And
There are some, like they said, challenges that I know that I've heard about them. I don't know what locally we're facing here with the laws and the immigration laws and all. I'm not sure what you're doing, so I don't know if that's had any hindrance on it, on the numbers. I think at some point it might be good to just do a comparison of our previous year and this year, just so you can answer that question if it does happen to come up from another standpoint, from a political standpoint.
Yeah.
It'll be good to just say, it didn't affect us, or it affected us at 10%, 5%, whatever it was.
yeah,
Just so people, and literally so our legislators will know, well, you know, what to say
yeah.
when they go forward with anything else.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's something that Mr. Chair that we're gonna be evaluating, because we've heard comments and we've seen that, and so we wanna make sure how we stand, what happened this year and how was a year, 2 years ago, and to see a comparison, see how we are.
Yeah, we're doing that for the trucking business too, the transportation, we're kind of doing a comparison of who it's affected at what level and, you know, where the income has come from. So that's gonna be important deal to show.
I think we might not be able to see it in a really clear perspective because we're seeing a lot of government army, National Guard.
Yeah, that's.
You know,
Filling out
that
the
they don't
hotels.
collect
They
tax, right?
they don't.
So that would be the only, would be the only thing that I would be kind of, that would be able to leave that out. I don't know how we can filter that.
That's true.
But I think that would be something that we could also kind of look at to see who's hired, who's coming under real heads to beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, yes, but the positive side is that this time around they're not as restricted as before.
Yeah.
So they can go out and venture in
Yeah.
their local
They go
restaurants
shopping,
and go
eating.
shopping, eating. What versus before they had to be confined to.
Just a hotel.
Yeah. So now they have a permit, but they're able to go out and
That's really
explore,
safe.
and they're doing it. They're enjoying the Tecos games. You see them with their jerseys, like they're really
Yeah.
Tecos or Laredo Heat. Like they're going to the games, they're engaging. Like it's really different. So it's good.
Yeah.
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 Yes. Yes.
That's good.
Now, for July, I noticed that the Pony League was in this thing. Are y'all doing anything with the Pony League or?
So we went to council, so we're sponsoring, so they're getting some assistance through the CVB and Parks, and then with that we are also helping them with they have their own housing system. So Pony League National has their own housing system, so we're not helping them with leads. They have contracts where they have to go through their housing system, and I believe it was hotelplanners.com. I'm not sure they already changed or not, vendors, but they're the ones that solicit rates and rooms from the markets where they're going to be hosting their tournaments. And then we service them as well. So we provide service for them as well.
And going back to the July, I know it's too late now,
Mm-hmm.
but I still bring up the thing I brought up last year. I understand that, Basket Alley is grandfathered in as a local,
Mm-hmm.
but, Ms. Briseño approached me again. And these are the bags that they sell. These are from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only, authorized vendors because these are made by prisoners in Mexico. And so she's been asking, if not this year, then next year.
And I believe we reached out to her, so
Oh,
there, yeah, we've already had discussions with her.
Good, because she,
Um,
I guess it was a reminder for
yeah,
from her.
and I'll make a note, because I know there's a lot of back end stuff that happened. So,
Who is this?
Hilda Briseño, she's the co-owner of Las Adelitas. And they're the only ones in Laredo that do have this agreement with the Mexican prisons. So what she sells, that's the prisoners' source of income.
Mm-hmm.
So these are generally made in Mexico, in a Mexican prison, but
and we do have just to clarify, we do have, the other thing is we have already other vendors from Oaxaca that that's their product. They're the ones that make it. I know this is a good effort, but we do have that already, but.
then you also have the stuff that Basket Alley sells that other people are selling too, so that kind of doesn't, that argument doesn't really wash with me, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean. but then-
Yeah, no, we'll make a note of that, Michelle,
Okay.
and we'll revisit again because I know we had issues the first time, and so we were able to get that information. But we'll follow up with her. Yeah, I would say that at least for this year won't be.
But next year,
Yeah, but
Well, as long as I think everybody is treated equitably,
it.
you know, and fairly, you know, I think that's the most that you can do.
Yeah.
Whether from here or wherever, because,
Mhm.
I mean, you've got, you know, it there to put it on, so.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they're vetting them. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Be
saying.
compliant to
Yeah.
vet them and to make sure that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that comes into play.
Yeah.
Did you all see where the Topo Chicos have been recalled?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Texas, Nevada, Arizona. They came out last night. There
All of them, like,
a lot of it. We had to go this morning and, cause we were about to have an event and we had to take everything out because we purchased it recently, so.
Wow.
No scotch and soda. Not church scotch and soda.
and for August, I did tell, Mercurio the third about the CBD, because they're having that, they're supposed to be bringing all the bishops of Texas on August the 9th, so I don't know if
Yeah.
they reached out.
I think Fidel's been reached out to the diocese.
Yeah,
Doris,
so the diocese, Bishop Tamayo is gonna take care of the bishops that are coming in, and we're gonna work on the hotel rate for anybody that's coming in from out of town.
So we're already working with them.
Okay.
And the bank is hosting them on August the 9th after the next, I don't know who's coming, but he said he needed, an event for 80 people. So obviously he said out of towners.
Yeah.
That there was the out of towners, like, we're not gonna go back, they said, do you mind hosting them and because it'll be down the road from the arena, so
Okay.
we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Any other? things?
That's it, Mr. Chair. I don't know if you have any other questions.
One thing, going back to the hotel, given the fact that now I don't know the weekends of the Pony League,
So the first tournament is the July the 4th weekend.
oh, okay, so,
And then they host a World Series, and that's gonna be the last week of July, early week of August, because it's gonna go in between those two. And, so,
okay, are they going to overlap with sister cities?
as of right now, no, not at.
Okay,
not
because
aware.
when I was talking about the hotel motel situation, to see if we could isolate what impact sister cities is having on the hotel rates, just so we can.
Yeah, and we survey every exhibitor and everybody, so that's, as they register, everybody gets surveyed.
Or if
At least some people are to participate, but yeah, we'll look into
Or if
it.
somebody from, I didn't mean to cut you off, if somebody from San Antonio or Corpus Christi or Austin or somebody decides to come and make a weekend out of it,
Yeah, and it's happened, we've gotten those.
Yeah, I remember some of those, I agree with.
Has the weather ever been a factor? Anybody talked about the weather?
For the festival
For
itself,
the Pony League, I mean, it's still during the hottest days
yeah,
of the year, and, you know, you wonder, do they realize, you know, that their kids are gonna be exposed to this heat?
they do, and so our Parks and Leisure does a wonderful job, and our fire department and our police department, because they set up water stations and then cooling stations, especially fire and parks.
Yeah.
And so we do get prepared for that, but these kids, since they want to advance, they have to literally compete. So even if it's here, if it's Eagle Pass or Corpus, they're gonna have to participate in order to continue. So, but we'll do, we provide a lot of water.
There's a time schedule for them to be playing here, because
Yes.
I think it goes to the playoffs or something.
Yes, that is correct, yeah. So this is an advance to go to, so depending which tournament, they advance to second and then they could go to the championship.
Yeah.
So it allows them to compete. We do, other things that we factor in is if it's too hot, we'll move the game so late. So either really early and we'll have a break during the day, and then we open the games.
I don't know, there was a issue with someone from, an officer of law enforcement or something, after they ended up in the hospital because of dehydration.
Mhm.
Did that come up? And then it's when a situation happened like that to me, I started here we go with my whole history, but they changed me, they added a diuretic down to my, hypertension. And so I worked outside, about a week ago, and I was sweating so much that I was like, we were working and moving stuff around because we're doing stuff. I had to change my t-shirt 3 times because it would get so wet.
Yeah.
Long story short, I went to sleep, I was fine. The next day,
You were.
horrible. I had to go back to the emergency and get,
It's dangerous.
Ivy.
an IV because I had dehydrated for big time.
Yeah.
So these are things, I guess, that happen. And I guess my point here is that maybe we should also have like the clinics on standby, you know, and at least let them know that these are the places that are available near them. I know you can Google everything, you can probably look up, but the other thing that's very important here that I found out is that there is a big difference in what they accept.
Yes.
So that's the one thing that you have to be very careful, because I know somebody went to this clinic, they were emergency, they wouldn't take them because they didn't have Medicaid. You know, they didn't accept Medicare, they didn't accept, you know, the insurance.
They
Yeah.
don't
So-
accept Medicare,
Yeah,
most of it.
Also,
yeah, so
They-
that's
they
something
have
that's very important, especially now that you say the health conditions, you know, because a lot of people that come from other cities that are not used to this heat, right? You know, it's very.
and we do provide a packet to the coaches, and it has the listings of all, like Nike, Academy, Walmart, everything that you could find, any sports equipment, and then we provide any medical, the hospitals, the emergency
Oh,
rooms.
good.
So we provide that to at least the coaches, so if they have an emergency, obviously, most of,
Well, they can have some staff there at least, you know, to can take care of what really was something.
yeah.
They don't have to drive. I don't know, I just think an emergency is an emergency, it's like.
But
Once
you
it's
just,
a-
you just gave us an idea, like maybe at the hotels, we can also, share with them like some information, clinics, but also like take care of,
Yes.
Yeah.
beware of
Very good.
dehydration and the signs to check and everything.
Because people don't realize how popular radio
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
If you want to put it-
Yeah.
I mean,
No, we don't really, every summer it's like, oh my God,
He's
and
watching.
then you go outside and say, it's so hot, and
Yeah.
and somebody asked, haven't you been here all your life? I said, yeah, but you never get used to this. You can't, I mean, you just don't, I mean, and that's,
But that, you know, something simple as a warning, it gives people a heads up to be,
yes.
because you forget to drink. And some
Yes.
people don't like to drink water. It's funny, some people just don't like to be drinking water,
Yeah,
so they
they
don't, and you have to keep.
But my experience of the dehydration is very, very dangerous.
perhaps if we could maybe ask Dr. Chamberlain,
Yeah,
to sit in on
I think that we
those,
can share.
on the other preliminaries, because, my cousin, my niece played at the, my cousin's daughter, my niece played, one of the games, and you're right, they do move them to the evening.
Yeah.
And,
That's good.
you also have to see, because these games are scattered all over Hell's Half Acre. So some of them are in the south, some of them are close to San Martin.
And it's gonna change now with the complex, and I believe that they're playing at the complex, so everything's gonna
There
be
you
there.
are.
Mm-hmm. That's the goal. So right now, I haven't heard anything that's changed, but as
Oh, that was a moneymaker for San Martin,
hmm
because they don't charge for parking.
yeah, but it's gonna.
Before we close this, I just wanna say, like, highlight, the great job that you all did, during the National Travel and Tourism Week. Like, the events were very,
Yes.
colorful and like full of, the Laredo energy. So thank you for that. And also I think, great initiatives like the visits, the outreach to the hotels, that's also, really good, to feel that connection, right? And, the other thing is that idea of sharing the caminarte, like if we do something like that, keep doing something like that for other events, I think, that will definitely make an impact.
Definitely.
Yes.
Especially right now that we have so many,
So many activities.
from out of state, like they're probably not as familiar with a lot of the things. So, so thank you for thinking of those things, and it makes a big difference.
So
Yeah.
just to piggyback what Magali's saying, one of the things that we're gonna do with our next fiscal year, we're gonna actually, and so we have our display of our new backdrop that we'll be using for events. So we have for birding, for shopping, history, and sports. But we're gonna be partnering, we will partner with all the hotels on setting up something similar like this, but it's like where to go, what to do. Since they come here, sometimes they can't go to our office here in downtown. We're gonna work with the hotel so we could set up this on their lobbies, on their entrance,
So,
with information, how to download maps, what places to go for concerts, for events, attractions.
I was gonna add that, I think those are beautiful, they're very well done, and I like the fact that it covers, a lot. And you do have diversification, which is great. The only other thing I would add would probably be, because the part of the most livable city, being the most livable city, was supposedly that we're ADA compliant in just about everything, so I think that's wonderful, that maybe we should include something like that with
Or
Yeah.
add the wheels of the world logo to
Yeah,
the promotional materials, now that we have
very
become the first city certified.
Yeah.
maybe put a sticker on that.
yeah, and so thank you, Mr. Chair, that you brought up that, because I was gonna mention that too, that we are the first city in Texas that got recognized.
I heard it in the newspaper.
Yes,
And then I
So-
mentioned it, we were with some friends at it, and I mentioned it, they said, no. And I said, "Well, you know, it's
Well, because it's getting confusing, because
Yeah.
it's not the best city to live in, it's the most livable.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, it's the most.
Yes.
yeah, so part of that though,
the heat.
yeah, part of the Wheel the World, we got
Inspired.
some organizations, some hotels, we got a mix, and so we're gonna add to that, because it's, with the first phase is a few locations, I believe we had 10, and after that, we're gonna start adding more, but to be the first in Texas, that's a huge accomplishment, and so,
Real,
yeah.
really.
yeah, we're really excited.
Toot our horn about something, right, that's a
Yeah.
pretty good thing, that's
Yeah,
great.
and especially it's something we beat San Antonio at, because
Yeah.
unfortunately, San Antonio is not the most ADA friendly city, especially the Riverwalk, when it comes to.
There's something going on in San Antonio that it just turning a lot of people off. I don't know if it's a crime or it's something that's, I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it, but you
It's
read,
growing,
you
so
read the,
I don't have to know.
I don't know, I mean, it's just something that is so,
Yeah.
so I guess, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it.
We haven't heard anything, but
I think it's just the fact that it's growing, so, it's,
like Austin too, I mean, I used to love Austin.
Me too, but it's like, and I, my
I
friend,
can't handle it.
Austin
I
is-
have family there, but
Yeah.
and they live there, and
they love it.
they like it, they don't love it
They
because
don't
the
love it.
traffic is
Yeah,
like,
it's getting
Austin
weird.
is totally unrecognizable.
but they still will do.
Yeah.
my friend moved to Austin about 10 years ago, and asked anything to,
Yeah.
but
Well, with all that said, thank you all for everything. I don't know if there's any other comments, any other items?
So then tomorrow, y'all will be at the Caminarte?
Yes, we have it scheduled.
We'll be at the Center for the
Yeah.
Arts.
Ah, it's in for the arts this time, yeah, okay. No, I'm really proud to see them.
We're still waiting for confirmation, but that's the plan.
Yeah.
Good, that's great.
But they've done a really good job. For those of you who have not been to Caminarte and passing by the booth, they have a little
Spin the
wheel,
wheels.
spin the
Yes,
wheel
yes.
and you get a prize.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yes, it
I
is.
also wanna mention the Pride Parade on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes. Because I know that the Democratic Party, we as a Democratic Party is going to be assisting, helping, we're gonna be there, we're gonna, support
Mm-hmm.
and,
Where, what time?
it's,
You got, this Saturday, the Tangible Parkway, where the wheels at.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
you
gonna start
know,
from
the
there?
parade is gonna be in the evening at 10 o'clock.
Yes, so we're after the.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're doing things different because
Yeah.
of the heat. We're starting at 5 p.m. at 8 p.m. will be the live entertainment
So,
for
just,
after.
to remind everybody, that it's just going on, and we plan to support, them.
I spoke to Miss Sylvia Bruni yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well, she's, we had a meeting this week and she brought it up and, last year it was approved,
Okay.
so.
This Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay, starting at 5.
Starting at
The
5.
Tangible Parkway, okay.
And it's good because
Parkway.
it's, yeah,
Of course.
getting,
There's a lot, yeah, a lot of fun.
Very lively.
Just
Well,
to
it's
let you
one
know
of the-
that we've been getting some calls for that event, people coming in from out of town for.
Cool.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That's
right.
good.
I need those numbers. No, I mean, it is exciting because we did it right coming off the pandemic and a lot of the bars downtown were struggling with
Yeah.
making ends meet and, the business, and it really did help them.
I know.
Like with the testimonial, even our kickoff at Rise, it was the first time they had so many people on a Sunday brunch.
Oh, wow, yeah.
that's
good.
good. I mean,
And so now that you're talking. Right, we have to go, but have you mentioned, have you announced that you have a new manager?
Oh, yes, we have a new GM, James Smith, which he said yes to 20 people. For
You think he can bring better acts?
And he's trying, he really is. I mean, we have the Arena Rock Show on the 26th.
And I was like, okay, they're bringing in the pretenders, but bring the real one.
But that's a stepping stone. So we get the support there. It's a good start. Yeah.
But it depends on the community too, it's like everything else, it depends on the community supporting it, because if we can, like in the old days, my gosh, we had Cher, we had Joel, we had,
My first concert.
but that was the thing, was supporting it.
Yeah.
They were giving away tickets at the end, because,
Nobody.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Barry Manilow did his farewell tour in San Antonio and Corpus Christi, and then, New Kids on the Block and Road went to the Pain Center, which is smaller than ours.
Yeah.
And so, for me, it's like,
It's the promoters, so you just get a little terrified when
Yeah.
people don't buy their tickets on
and
time.
they lost money.
Yeah.
everybody
It's a
goes to the
business.
last minute.
Yeah, so it's like while other markets they're already sold out, they're not
Yes.
sold out yet, and so that just
And what could be a good thing is also a curse, is the fact that we live in a very isolated community. We're
Yeah.
150 miles away from Larky, whereas
Yeah.
McAllen has surrounding, San Antonio
Corpus.
has surrounding,
Yeah.
Austin has
So
surrounding,
they-
Corpus has surrounding.
Right.
We unfortunately, that can also be our downfall, because
Yeah.
we need to bring people from other cities.
but I'm sure that there are Duranys in Monterey who would be willing to travel to see them.
yeah.
Sana Gabriel's gonna be coming, right?
Mhm.
When is
I
that?
wonder
event?
how it's
Yes.
gonna affect like you have a lot of Mexican performance and how the visa situation, like when their visas being suspended, like for
Yes.
all those Mexican performers.
I think I heard
Yes.
an artist had to cancel his
No,
show.
it's
yeah.
happened to, it's already a list, it's a big list of Mexican performers that
That is a problem.
they're
Yeah.
Yes.
canceling their
Here?
work visas, yes.
That and Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So I wonder how that's gonna affect because you already have
Okay.
our.
I'm all of that, I moved to adjourn.
I move second.
Second, okay, all in favor? Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, please.